Stories read aloud.
The strongest quiet. Fern and Colt were two young dragons who loved to make noise. They breathed fiery smoke so high it tickled the clouds and let out great, booming roars that echoed across the mountains. Today, they flew faster than ever, showing off their powerful wings above the jagged peaks of Ironspine Peaks. They landed with a proud thump on a windswept plateau, puffing out small victory clouds. An old dragon named Nara, whose scales were the color of ancient stone, slowly came down beside them. She carried a single, soft feather. "You show great strength, little ones," she rumbled. "But can you find the strongest quiet in the world, not just a whisper?" Fern and Colt looked at each other, puzzled. "Strongest quiet?" Colt snorted, sending a small puff of smoke. They thought it must be a trick. They blasted off from Ironspine Peaks, soaring over the wide, flat golden plains below, searching for something quietly powerful. They landed in a dense part of Verdantveil Woods, next to the old, crumbling stones of Stonehaven Temple. "Maybe the strongest quiet is hiding here," Fern whispered. They looked for powerful, silent creatures or hidden magic. They stood very still and listened, but heard only their own soft breathing. Fern nudged a fallen stone with her snout in frustration. Underneath, she found a piece of an old mosaic, very delicate, made of tiny, colorful tiles. It was chipped and almost buried, but still so beautiful. Colt looked at the fragile mosaic. It could break so easily. To keep it safe would take a quiet kind of strength. He remembered hearing about fine, strong silk spun by spiders in a faraway canyon. They flew quickly out of the woods towards Spiderweb Canyon. They landed at the mouth of Spiderweb Canyon. Huge, shining webs, thin as a breath yet strong as rope, stretched between the tall rock walls. The webs held tiny drops of dew like little jewels. It was quiet power. With great care, Fern used just the tip of one claw to snip a few strands of silk. Colt found a big, soft leaf from a canyon plant. Together they worked slowly and gently, without any booming or stomping. They flew back to Stonehaven Temple, moving much more gently now. There, they carefully wrapped the mosaic in the soft leaf and tied it up with the silk. The tiny package kept the old, beautiful thing safe inside. Fern held the little package in her claw. Colt touched the smooth silk. They looked at each other and smiled. The strongest quiet was not a loud sound or a mighty force. It was the quiet strength of caring, of being gentle with something small. With their lesson learned, they rose into the sky, carrying their treasure with care. They flew quietly, no longer making boastful noises, over a winding river that sparkled like a silver ribbon below. Soon they reached Elder Nara's small cave, nestled in a mossy cliff at the foot of Ironspine Peaks. They landed softly at the entrance, eager to show her what they had found, not just with words, but with what they had done. Inside Nara's warm cave, they held out the carefully wrapped mosaic. In soft voices, they told her how they had found it, how they had kept it safe, and what they now understood about quiet strength. Elder Nara smiled warmly. She lifted the feather she had shown them, holding it with just two claws so it would not bend. "Yes," she whispered, "it takes great strength to be gentle, and the things we protect with care, those last the longest of all." Fern and Colt flew home feeling lighter than ever before. They found a secret grotto hidden behind a waterfall and placed the mosaic on a mossy rock beside the pool, a quiet reminder of what they had learned. True strength, they now knew, was not just in roaring. It was in the gentle things that last,